NRL Fantasy Pimp My Team is back. Back bigger than better for round 14. It's going to be a massive, massive video here. We've got 15 teams to look at where I'm going to be going through them and breaking down exactly what they need to do to win fantasy this year. Just to introduce myself, if you haven't met me before, I'm Longy from the Casual Athlete, previous overall fantasy champ, currently ranked 172. So I'm in a decent spot, but hoping to improve as we go along. Now, quickly before we jump in, a shout out to a sponsor, TBC Live. These guys are legends. I've got an awesome offer for you right now, though. If you download the TBC app, link in the description right now, and you make a single prediction on the Origin tomorrow, you could win a free State of Origin jersey of your choosing. So it could be a Blues jersey, it could be Maroons jersey. Heck, if you want another jersey, you could probably ask for that too. I'm sure they'd help you out. But that's on offer there. So click on the link in the description, make a prediction, and the boldest prediction is going to win a State of Origin jersey. Don't miss out on this offer. It's absolutely awesome. All right, so let's jump into this first. So Ants is going up here, and Ants actually won his chance to be on here. So he won our TBC challenge, top scoring TBC player of the week. So got into Pimp My Team. For Ants, I'm looking at this team. This is interesting. Okay, so you got a few doggies players, which could be a challenge next week. Let's see, we're looking at a few trade options as well. So the whole starting side looks pretty clear. Challenge with the half spot, Max Plath. All right, cool. Then Blaze, Hughes, Kohler. Okay, you got some challenges here, right? So you've got 15 players right now. You're going to need to make some trades. I don't trust Sam Hughes at all, so I'm really counting it as 14 players this week. Kohler has some risk to him as well, so it could even be 13 players. So you might need to make 4 trades depending on what happens here. Nico Hines, Gus Crichton, and David Armstrong out for Hughes, Fafita, and Latrell. And yeah, I love those trades. I really love those trades. I think it's a hard one for you to miss out on Brandon Hands. So if you want to, and maybe save this to the end of the round, but if you have a player pull out late, you could move that player on for Brandon Hands. If you get to the end of the round and you don't, I would consider moving Sam Hughes out and getting Brandon Hands in for that spot. That would be at the end of the round because the Doggies and the Eels play the final game of the round. So save that trade in case anyone pulls out later or anything like that. If they don't, make that move, Sam Hughes to Brandon Hands. But you've got some great trades there. You're set up very well. Rank 1600 as well. Really good spot to be in. All right, Gun 40 next, and great shout out to you, man. So you moved in from 3,800, I think it was last week, to 1,800 this week, which, mate, you're on the rise. It's a PB for you, overall ranking. Gun also is one of our Gun tier subscribers. So as we go through this list, we're going through at first in green, the Gun tier subscribers. We'll then go through purple, which is the mid-ranges. And then we go through orange, which is the cheapies there. So they're all the people who are upgraded in our Discord server and get that one-to-one advice for fantasy. Now, for you, Gun 40L, let's have a look at this team. All right, a lot of green dots. Starting team is all clear. Kohler could be a little bit of risk this week, but we'll keep an eye on him. For the bench, again, you're looking pretty clear. Okay, so you've really only got the one issue where you need to make that one trade to get a full 17. You've got 8 trades remaining, so I wouldn't be spending trades haphazardly. You got McKaylee there, who's pretty dodgy, and I'd probably look at selling him. All right, so my first thoughts are with 128K in the bank. Obviously, watch the Origin game tonight. That's going to be a big thing. Because if the Blues get beaten well, then Nico Hines might get dropped and he might actually be a hold. If the Blues win well, then sell Nico Hines is my answer there. You could sell Nico Hines for Dave Fafita, potentially. That could be a good option. Because if the Blues win, then that could be an option. You could look at Nico Hines out for someone like Latrell as well. I would be moving McKaylee on for Brandon Hands too. I think that's a really easy option for your team because he does cover the half and hooker spot as well. So they'd be the moves I've been making. McKaylee to Hands and then probably Nico to Dave Fafita potentially. For your team, I think Fafita is a good shout for captain this week. If you need to make another move, then I would look at selling Strange as well. So keep Weeks, keep Plath, keep Aitken, but you could move Strange on maybe for a Kelma to a Lungy or someone like that, depending on what your team needs. But you're pretty flexible in terms of this bench because Blaze telling you can slide in. So those are the trades for you. McKaylee to Hands, potentially Hines to Fafita, and Ethan Strange out for a Kelma to a Lungy sort of type of player or someone in that category. Starboy next, another gun, another green gun. Let's see, a lot of green dots on the starting side. You're looking all clear except for James Dusco in that starting team. The bench looks pretty clear to me as well, except 4. Yeah, actually, no, actually, it's a lot worse than I thought it was. Whew, you're in a tough spot. Okay, we need to make 3 moves. Although Robson's playing. Robson's going to play this week. Okay, slide Robson into the spot that Strange is in is my first piece of advice. That leaves you 2 players short of a starting side. Okay, who do we sell from this team right now? Let's have a look at this. My advice would be to look at selling probably Gus Crichton, I would say, is the guy. Potentially Gus Crichton and Ethan Strange. So I'm thinking Gus Crichton out, Ethan Strange out, and then I think Sam Hughes has to go as well. You can look at buying 3 guys here. You've got a ton of spare cash, so you can buy basically whoever you want. I'd probably be looking at getting, I think, Dave Feeder. You got the money there for it. You could look at getting Latrell. That's an easy shout. You could look at Twal if you want to have another guy in the Tigers for your middle spot, which is a good shout as well. They're probably the 3 guys I'd be looking at buying for your team. You've got the cash to do it. So go and spend that cash. You could possibly sell Smithies as well. Just keep an eye on what the news is on him. But at the same time, you could probably afford to hold Smithies at this stage. So I'd probably look to try and hold them if I could, if I was you. Overall, I think those 3 trades are going to cover you. So Sam Hughes, Ethan Strange, and Gus Crichton out for those players I mentioned. At this stage, you maybe don't need to sell Nico Hines. But again, keep an eye on the news. If Hines dominates this game in Origin, he's not playing this week, obviously, as well, then you could maybe look at selling him instead. Just wait in the Origin news, but I think you might be better off holding Hines. All right, let's go into the next game here. We've got Dusco. So Dusco comes up, a lot of green dots again. Jack Whiten in there already. He could be a really interesting option. He's actually in the pods list for this week. So for the rest of the bench, Wishart, McKaylee, Cartwright. Cool. Yeah, Cartwright and Blaze. You're playing with house money at this stage because your roster is full. You got 17 players. You can make the trades that you want to make. And now I've just realized that this 17 players includes your 3 trades. Okay, you've already moved Fuller, Cotter, and Hughes out for Drinkwater, Yo, and Cartwright. I don't know if I'd make those trades. I think all 3 are pretty average options for this week. Not necessarily for this. So they're great trades for this week. But when we look at the buy planning going forward, Drinkwater doesn't play round 16 or round 19. Yo doesn't play round 16 or round 19 because of Origin and depending on buy schedule. And Cartwright has a decent run. So if you like Cartwright, you can get Cartwright. But overall, I'd be looking to go. I think Trey Fuller out is a good move. I think Ruben Cotter out is an okay move. What are we doing there instead? I would maybe try to keep Cotter if I could. Wait to see how he plays in Origin. I'd be more likely to sell McKaylee instead. So you've already got Brandon Hands there. Maybe selling McKaylee for like a Kelma to a Lungi or something like that could be a good option. There's a lot of risk in this, really. I think the trades you got there, if you swapped, you could swap Yo for like an Alex Twal, for example, as well. I think that could be a good option. And that would free up some cash. I would swap Drinkwater for Latrell at this stage as well. And then Hughes for Cartwright isn't the worst move there. Would I do anything else here? You could look at, I probably would try to minimize trades at this stage, actually. So I think the trades you got there, swapping Twal and Latrell in for Drinkwater and Yo, gives you more buy coverage. That's what I do to free up some cash as well. So you got that cash for next week too. All right, Jake. Now, purple zones. We've got the mid-ranger zone. So these guys are awesome. Jake, great contributor to the Discord server as well. Link to the Discord and below, guys, if you want to check that out. All right, starting side here, we got a lot of green dots. So we're all well covered here. Drinkwater captain is bold. Keanu Keeney, mate, bravo to you for having him. For the bench, all right, let's see. We got 3 green dots here. I think Xavier Wilson should play well this week. I think there might be a lack of backing up. Binu Cola, yeah, cool. And you got 13 trades, which is a great spot to be in. So you're in a good spot. Man, you're in a good spot. Rank 4,000 as well. You can make a real rise here if you play the buy rounds right. So you're in a great position really here. What would I do if I was you? All right, so I'd be looking at this and going, all right, cool. I've got 16 players, but that 16 includes Sam Hughes, who we don't trust anymore. He really hurt us badly last week. Brandon Smith as well. so cheap now. It's really hard. But you got 690K in the bank, so I don't think you need to care too much about that. I would be looking at moving Brandon Smith on for someone good. Brandon Smith for Dave Fifita is a great shout. So if Queensland win, Brandon Smith for Dave Fifita is such an easy move to make. That's probably what I'd be looking to do if I was you. I think that's if you could get away with just making that trade, that'd be awesome. I would then probably go. It's a question of do you want to keep Hughes or Strange? I'd probably move Hughes on for Brandon Hands as well. I think Brandon Hands is a guy you have to have. So yeah, they're my two trades: Brandon Smith and Sam Hughes out, Brandon Hands and Dave Fifita in, and you are set this week. I would also think about captaining Fifita, but if you like Drinkwater, don't let me talk you out of that. All right, Willie, 1300. Got your team in this week, mate. Good to see it. So 10 trades left. We've got a lot of starters in the team. Sean Johnson will be out. The rest of it looks pretty clear. For the bench, you got Cook, Cotter, no Nico. Okay, cool. So we've got a couple of challenges here. 15 players in the team. Look, Sean Johnson should be back next week, so I wouldn't be worried too much about that. Nico Hines is out this week. He'll be back next week and then out for Origin again. My thinking here is that you could sell Nico if you wanted to. You're forced into buying like Fafita, basically, if you sell Nico, because you need to use the cash. So you got two options here. One option is you sell Nico and Strange, for example, and you buy Fafita and you got a bunch of cash there, Fafita and Latrell. You could buy Fafita and Twal, you could buy whatever it is, right? And you move Hughes out for Brandon Hands, and that'd be 3 trades. That's one option. The other option is that you could sell Strange and Smithies and Hughes, and you get some cheaper players instead. So you don't get Fafita, but you get like Alex Twal, and maybe you get Latrell, and then you get Brandon Hands, something like that. There are 2 options there. It depends whether you want Twal or Fafita. I don't mind either option really here. I just think you are a bit weak at middle. So you've got Cotter to come in. You're going to sell Smithies, then that's an option there. But there's a few different options there. A lot of it depends on Origin as well. So keep an eye on Origin. If you think Nico Hines will be picked again, then he might be a sell. All right, Jaho, legendary member of Discord, the admin general, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's check out his team. So green dots all over. Mate, you're stacked. Starting side is all good. I like that. Mitch Moses captain. That is ballsy, but we're into it. We've got McKaylee and Hughes in the 17, which is a bit tricky. We also have only 15 players. But I'm going to call it 16 because I think Robson will play. I'm backing him to back up. So really, you've got one spot to fill, and then you can decide what you want to do with McKaylee and Hands. What do we do here? Plath, Manu, and Weeks are all guys we want to hold. So it's back Crichton and Hines at this stage. You've got 330K in the bank. You've only got 9 trades left. That's a bit tougher to deal with. I would actually preference keeping Hughes over keeping McKaylee for you. And the reason I say that is that Hughes plays round 16. McKaylee doesn't play any major buy rounds anymore. So I would move Hughes into the starting side. I would be looking at trading McKaylee. And then one of Hines or Crichton, depending on what we see from Origin, for... You could sell McKaylee. You don't even really need... I would probably sell McKaylee and then bring in maybe Kelma to Alungi, and then Hines or Crichton. So if the Blues win, then sell Crichton. Sorry, I'll sell Hines. You can sell both, really. If the Blues win, I'd probably sell Hines. If the Blues lose, then maybe sell Crichton instead. That's what I'll say. Blues win, sell Hines. Blues lose, sell Crichton, and buy Dave Fifita. That's probably the shout here. Dave Fifita is a great captain option, but Mitch Moses isn't the worst option either. I do think the Dogs are pretty tight, though, on defense, so I wouldn't necessarily count on him having a big game in this one. That's my advice there. Judge. All right, time for me to judge your team, big man. All right, Twal is captain. That is bold, but I love it. A lot of green dots again, full starting team, pretty full bench. You can make moves if you want to. Look, the Dolphins players all play the major buy rounds, so if you can hold all 3, that's ideal. I actually don't think you need to make too many trades this week. So if I was you, yeah, look, Pahulu's not super reliable. Maybe you don't want to start him. I wouldn't be trading Harry Grant to Damien Cook at all. I wouldn't do that. Keep Harry Grant. Don't worry about Damien Cook. I think Damien Cook is a bit overhyped right now. He has had some very big attacking plays that have saved his scores the last 2 weeks, and he was pretty dodgy before that. Mamazelis is still there. I'm actually kind of off the Cook train a little bit, so I would reverse that trade. Asako to Jerome Hughes is a pretty good move. That's the move that I actually really like for you. Would I do that? Asako to Jerome Hughes. So 9 trades left too. Yeah, I like that move. I think Asako is a bit of a dodgy scorer. He's not bad as a wing fullback, but you don't really need the wing fullback coverage right now. You're going to have to sell Sua Fa'alongo pretty soon as well. So just keep that in mind. So I think, yeah, Asako to Jerome Hughes is a good move. And then you could maybe look at upgrading elsewhere. I don't hate the idea for you because you've got such a strong middle section of going Ruben Cotter out for Dave Fafita. I like that trade. I don't know if you can afford it. So I think, actually, you know what? You're not going to be able to afford that. Yeah, you're definitely not going to be able to afford that unless you make another trade. I've just noticed too strange, actually. So you might have to make 3 trades. I would go Asako for Hughes. Good trade. Ethan Strange out for Brandon Hands. Frees up some cash. And then Ruben Cotter for Dave Fafita. Especially if Cotter is looking like he went back up. They're the 3 trades I'd make. I think they really lock in your team as a very, very, very strong roster. So that's what I'd do for you, Judge. Just a quick shout out to Maroon's jersey this time instead. If you guys want a free State of Origin jersey, go on the running for that. TBC Live, it's such a fun game as well. I've been loving this game. You make live predictions during the game, and based on the popularity of your prediction, you get different points. So I win a bunch of points whenever I bet that Eli Katoa is going to score a try, and I bet that way too much. But yeah, awesome game. If you make a bold prediction on State of Origin tomorrow, or today now actually, then you can win a free Origin jersey, which is epic. All right, Kiz, another one. So he was the first one to get 50 points on TBC last week, and we do run promos for TBC as well to get into this. So for Kiz, you're absolutely killing it on that app. Doing well in fantasy too. Let's have a look at this team. Heaps of green dots. Heaps of green dots. Oh, mate, you're stacked. You're looking good. If you want to upgrade, you can. Jerome Luai as captain is very brave. Very brave. Kalomatangi's in there. I reckon I'm looking at a team after trades, but I don't know for sure because he didn't send them. I reckon with this team, without knowing the cash, it's pretty hard. If I was going to make moves, I'd probably look at upgrading McKaylee. So McKaylee for someone better. That's probably what I'd be looking to do. You could potentially, I don't know, Isaiah Katoa, Sako, Lemuelu. You could upgrade one of those guys if you have a lot of cash. If not, then I think you can sit tight pretty much this week. Would I captain Luai is the other question. It's a hard one. It's a hard one because I'd probably be more likely to captain Kalomatangi this week. I reckon he pops off. He's on the back of that big score last time. So that's the only thing I'd do, but I don't think you need to make too many trades. I think you're pretty solid for this week. Riley up next. You got 9 trades left. We're looking at the team here. All right, lots of green dots. Morgan Smithies is a black spot. Dylan Edwards is a black spot as well. Okay, so we've got 15 players to work with. Morgan Smithies for Fafita. Great move. I like it. If you sell Hughes, you have 745K to work with. You also have to make another move as well. I would be very strongly considering what you do with Dylan Edwards at this stage. I don't know. I don't know how bad the injury is, to be honest. Like, what? Actually, let me just check it out live now, because I've heard a few things. I've heard 4 to 6 weeks. I've heard 1 to 3 weeks. I'm really struggling to get confirmation on this Dylan Edwards injury. Yeah, quad TBC. This is tough. But we don't want to sell him anyway. You could look at selling if you wanted to. You could look at selling like Nico Hines or something like that. But I reckon for your team, you don't necessarily have to. I think with the trade numbers you have, you don't have to as well. I'd be going Smithies to Fafita. I think it's a good move. And you got 300K spare in the bank. What do you do with that? It's a hard one because you sort of have to sell. If you want a full team this week, you have to sell one of Edwards or Hines. You could move Edwards to Latrell. I don't mind that trade at all, actually. So I'd probably do that. Edwards to Latrell. If you want a third trade, you can move Hughes to basically anyone you want. Who would I go for there? You probably need to shore up the middle forward spot. So you could move Hughes to, but you could go for Adam Fanua Blake if you wanted to go big. You could go Twal if you want to go a bit more cheap. You can go for Kaloa Matangi if you like that option as well. They're the three I'd consider there for you. So that's the trades I'm taking for you there, Riley. Good luck this week, man. Then we got Muddle coming in next, and Muddle's got a lot of green dots. We need a middle. Got a lot of green dots on the bench. All right, cool. I would be selling Madison. I know Madison's on the extended bench, but I just reckon that injury is tough. So that's probably the one trade you need to make. So I'd go Madison out. You've got some cash to use. I wouldn't be selling Robson necessarily for Turkamanu, but Madison for Hughes doesn't really fix your middle forward problem. That's a problem. So I guess, yeah, you can go Madison, and I think Robson will play this week. I reckon Robson will play this week. I'm not super keen on selling him, but you could do those trades you've got there. Madison and Robson for Hughes and Turkamanu. Not a bad shout. You're betting on a Turkamanu bouncing back to the minutes, so I don't mind that trade at all. Kaden up next, and yeah, orange means the cheapy cash cow section of the upgrades. So we've got Kaden with 8 trades left. We'll go quick fire through the cash cow guys. Obviously, the guns and the mid rangers get a bit more time on air. So let's have a look at this. We got green dots everywhere. Nico Hines needs replacing. Green dots on the bench. Ethan Strange needs replacing. You could probably just trade those two guys out. I don't hate the idea of going 261k in the bank. I would look at going Nico Hines, Ethan Strange out, Dave Fafita, Jerome Hughes in. Bang. Automatic. You're done. Set. Those are great trades. You are locked and loaded. Wicked coming up next, and we've got heaps of green dots on the starting side. Bailey Simonson obviously out for the year, which is tough. You've got 2 gaps on the bench as well. We need to find 3 players to sell this week if you want to fill the roster. I would not sell Herbie. I'm open to Strange. I would not sell Aitken. Wouldn't sell Weeks. Wouldn't sell Manu. Wouldn't sell Plath. Okay, you got 2 options here, and 8 trades left is actually steering me towards one of these. I reckon you need to minimize trades right now. So I'd probably be selling Bailey Simonson and Ethan Strange, and you need to be buying some guys you can trust and who can carry you through the origin period. You can do anything here. Do you need a wing fullback? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay, cool. I would be going Bailey Simonson, Ethan Strange out, and bringing in Dave Fafita and Brandon Hands. You can look at making a trade for Hughes as well if you want. I don't know how much cash that would leave you with spare, but you could look at selling Hughes if you wanted to. I don't think you need to. I reckon you hold on to Hughes just with the way your roster is. That's the one trade, the 2 trades I'd make. So Bailey Simonson, Strange out, Fafita and Hands in. All right, Knights on top, head to head. Just have a look at this next. So welcome to the crew, man, by the way. I think your name on Discord was something about kittens or something. But Knights on top. Let's have a look at this team for head to head. So we're not worried as much about the buy schedule, which is good. I wouldn't then worry. I mean, you want to try and nail this week. So Madison is a pretty easy sell. We need to fill the Aitken spot and the edge back row spot. We got Grant, Hughes, McKaylee. Okay, cool. You need to fill 3 spots. That's what you've got here. We need 2 of them to be edge back rowers. All right, you sell Madison, you sell Strange, and you could sell one of Crichton or Teddy. I think Crichton's probably the one to sell. So sell Madison, Strange, and Crichton. And you can buy, because those moves make sense for head-to-head as well. And then I would buy Brandon Hands to free up cash. Dave Fafita, you need that edge back rower. And then you need another edge back rower as well. And you've got pretty much unlimited cash here. Maybe a Kaloa Matangi is a good shout, but if you're head-to-head, he's not as important. You can really get whoever you want. I've got Eli Katara on my team. I enjoy having him. He's pretty good for the buy schedule. You could look at a guy like Scott Sorensen as well, but Luke Garner's back on the bench. Yeah, grab a second rower is the other option there. So yeah, they're the 3 trades. We're looking at Madison out, Strange out, Crichton out. We're buying Brandon Hands, Dave Fafita, and another back rower, one of those guys I've mentioned there. right, only Duck. Only Duck. Let's see this team. A lot of green dots. Ethan Strange need to replace. We've got Ruben Cotter probably is going to back up. So okay, we have 3 spots minimum that we need to fill for this roster. I'm open to selling Strange. You've got some cash to use. Okay, you suggested some trades here. So McKaylee, Strange, and Cotter out for Fino, Hands, and Fafita. They're good trades, but it doesn't fill your roster, is my challenge there. I would consider using another trade as well. So I like those trades. You could do one more trade. Actually, no, you're fine. Robson, move him up. Robson's going to be playing this week. So yeah, that's a good set of trades. Michaela, yep, do those trades. Move Robson up into your bench, and you'll have 17 players this week, most likely. We hope. All right, Akatsuki, we've got a lot of green dots again. Full starting team, full bench, extra player on the bench. You're flush, mate. You're flush. Okay. 7 trades left. This is probably a really good chance for you to consolidate and not use trades. Your starting side is really solid. I'm pretty happy with it. I wouldn't be trading any of these guys out. Got Penasini, which is good. Moses and Cartwright are back, so he'll be in good form. Bench is clean. You could look at moving Sam Hughes on. You don't have Brandon Hands. I would maybe make one trade and just go Sam Hughes to Brandon Hands. I think that's an easy one for you to do. Hands is just going to skyrocket in value. That's the big thing there. Keep Teddy, keep Weeks, keep Plath. Roll on. You're looking solid. All right, Titans on top. Next here, we've got a lot of green dots. Yeah, you're clean. You're clean. Again, full 17. I like the look of that. So you got, okay, so this team is after 3 trades. All right, that makes more sense. Yeah, the 3 trades are good. You got 372K in the bank if you want to use it. Would you get someone other than Fino for feeder Hands? Maybe you could look at that. I reckon the trades you got there are good. So Sam Hughes, Ethan Strange, Piakura out, Fino for feeder and Hands in. I like those trades. I think they're a good shout. All right, SJJ, SKSS. Let's see this team. Okay, heaps of green dots. Heaps of green dots. We've got Ethan Strange for Hands is the one trade that's been done here. That's already been completed. That gets you to 17 players this week. Keep an eye on team list for the Titans because Jaden Campbell's on the extended bench, so Keeney could be at some risk. But overall, I think you're all good. If Keeney gets dropped out, you need to trade him pretty quickly. You've got a ton of money in the bank. I mean, you could do something with that, potentially. What would you do with that? What would you do with that? You're a bit restricted because you don't have heaps of forwards on the bench. It's a very half-heavy bench. You could look at something that would be a bit out there and a bit different, but I think Armstrong is close to maxed out, right? So if you wanted to move Armstrong on for Latrell, that's a pretty baller move. I don't mind that. You could save the money for next week and get Aitken in. Oh, you've already got Aitken there. Save the money for next week, get someone else in. You could trade Xavier Willison out for Dave Fafita with that cash. I think that's a really good trade, actually, because that buys you like 50 points this week. It just means you need to move Samuel Alfino into the middle spot. That's probably the trade I like the most. So Xavier Willison out, bring in Dave Fafita. Easy shout there. All right, cool, guys. That's our Pimp My Team. Shout-outs to Baden, Brayblade, Dogs of War. Didn't get your teams in time, but just shoot me a DM in our level 1, level 2, or level 3 sections of the Discord there. Obviously, you guys are all upgraded, so I'll happily give you guys some advice on your teams. We can also have a chat about the loophole configurations this week. Because if you have more than 17 players this week, you need to set up your roster right to make sure you're taking advantage of those. My other bit of advice, guys, is make sure your vice captain plays early in the round to give you the most flexibility possible. Anyway, guys, that is Pimp My Team. Again, make sure you go to this link here, or other way around, that link there. TBC Live giving away a free jersey. Go and download it right now. Go and download it right now, and you will enter the running for that jersey. I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck this week.